Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We've got NBA player props here for you on a Monday, kicking off the work week with 10 games on the NBA slate. We've also got best bets up in a separate episode, and we bring both of those to you each and every weekday. So make sure to subscribe to that page. Don't miss out on the sides and totals looks we have in addition to these player props. 2-2 here on Friday to close out the week last week. So we'll look to get back up above 500 so we can win money and not just walk away neutral. But let's get into your first look here for Monday night, Nate.
Well, I'm sure you won money if you, like Josh, continue to invest in Isaiah Collier as the means to your unborn daughter's graduation fund, because he has just been a cash cow. I don't know if we'll get good prices on that anymore, but the double-double again, fantastic work, Mr. Collier. I'll go Zion here. 21.5 points is low for Zion, regardless of the matchup, basically. And I'm saying, like, it's just tough sledding for Trey Murphy and CJ here against OKC. I think tougher than it is for Zion, even though, like, the Thunder have Chet back, so now they have theoretically 48 minutes of rim protection. I don't know if either Chet or iHeart are, like, going to be able to completely stop Zion as a runaway train, or Lou Dort from him getting his head of steam, like they haven't in the past. His last 5 against the Thunder, he's been averaging 26 and also 7.5 and 6.5 on 30% usage. The last meeting, Chet played a full slate, 33 minutes. Zion scored 29, 10 for 17 from the floor. And now, I mean, this is only Chet's second game back. I don't know how physical he's going to be able to be, or how many minutes he's going to be able to go out there. I don't think iHeart is a huge deterrent in terms of Zion getting there. And yeah, I mean, Trey Murphy, it's not quite low enough to fade him for me, but like, I don't see him like lighting him up like the way he lit up the Nuggets and the Celtics, and just like this OKC wing D is just going to be all over him, right? As like, you're the primary guy now. Okay. Zion's just like a spot player, apparently, who just comes out with a 40% usage and scores a point a minute while he's out there, like 28 points in 27 minutes in his last 7, over in 6 to 7. It's just like, he's out there. He's a point mercenary. So that's why I'm just taking the points, not trusting anything else here against OKC. And honestly, like, I lean Pels plus 15.5, almost had that as a best bet in here. If it keeps rising, like, it's just insanely high. I mean, I know the Thunder at home are what they are, but I think the Pels offensively can keep pace a little bit. I mean, they have not been a run over at all. They've lost 8 straight, but they've been 6-2 against this number. And the exceptions are Joker pounding them down low, which OKC does not do, and then a weird back-to-back loss. They have the 5th lowest turnover rate in their last 14 here. So that's key against OKC, and having somebody like Zion who can attack their interior is also key.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get to 15.5 for the OKC to cover. I agree. I think the thing about Zion, though, at this point is that it's a double-edged sword with his playing time, because he's kind of blowout proof. Like, he's going to play 28 minutes if they lose by 25. He's going to play 28 minutes if they win by 4. If it's a close game, maybe he'll get up to 32-ish minutes, right? But even in the blowout, he's blowout proof because they're just trotting him out there to give him minutes and just keep him out there for the same amount of minutes, get him really regimented, and I guess maybe make him the future of the franchise. I don't think they're going to move him after moving BI at this point. So we'll just need him on the floor if you're going to be good. But this season is a complete lost cause. Who cares if he's out there when they're up by 20 or down by 20? You just need him to keep going and stay conditioned. I'm not even trying to be funny there. But let me go to another game here. The Wizards. We got Rashawn Holmes and the Wizards against the Spurs. So I'm taking Rashawn Holmes. This is going to sound weird, but I'm taking him 10.5 points and assists. I was one of the sickos who watched that Washington Wizards game the other day where they just lost to the Hawks by like 20. Rashawn Holmes looks good. I took him for 2 assists in that game. I wouldn't be mad at just taking the over 1.5 assists for him again at like plus 135 is the best number. Like, this seems silly, but the dude, they're running dribble handoffs at the top of the key on like every play that he's out there. He doesn't really just stay down low. He's not gonna post anybody up. Certainly not Wemby, who he's going to be posting up. So it's more of him playing up on the 3-point line, and I know that he's going to be out there, especially pulling Wemby from the basket as much as he can in this game. And that's the other reason I like him to get 2 dimes in this game and just add it to the points. I like the points because I don't like. First of all, I don't like the rebounds very much because of the fact that he's going to be pulling Wemby from the the rim, and we know Wemby's going to be pulling him from the rim when Holmes is on defense. But San Antonio does allow the fourth most points per game to centers. They allow the eighth most assists per game to centers as well. And you can say what you want, but I mean, it's like 5.5 assists per game. So it's not like we should just be poo-pooing this stat because centers don't dime up. So this seems kind of random. No, I don't think it is random. I think guys are doing what Richaun Holmes is already doing, which is bringing Wemby out to the top of the key and having the dribble handoff play work really well for them. The Spurs allow the seventh most points per game off of the dribble handoff and the third most off of putbacks, which is really just how Richaun Holmes is either going to get his dimes is off the handoff or his a lot of his points, to be honest, might come, at least half of them, probably going to come off of putbacks as well, where Wemby's either out of position trying to block somebody, right, which leaves his guy open for the putbacks, or Wemby is busy guarding stuff out near the three-point line, which leaves a lane open for guys like Holmes to crash the boards towards going to the rim. I don't really love having him get like 10 boards, which is a very high rebound prop for him in this one. He's certainly capable of it, but the Spurs, again, they limit centers to the fifth fewest rebounds per game for a couple of reasons, including Wemby pulling him from the three-point line. But he's played 2 games now, Richaun, in the starting lineup, 6 field goal attempts per game, 5 potential assists, so about 4 potential assists per game, averaging a couple of dimes in there. So yeah, I think he's going to be good for another 3 to 5, but these are really easy shots that he's creating for guys dribbling to the rim off of those dribble handoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and take the assist and add it to the points for him.
Yeah, it seems like they want him out there running 2-man with Jordan Poole, who can now just have all the shots. And Poole is getting some steam here because he did drop 42 against the Spurs earlier this season, and he had that huge usage game after the trade deadline against the Cavs. So, I mean, maybe this is a way to kind of get a more exploitable number than it is to chase Poole, who's like, yeah, now juiced up at to like 22, 23 points and with the assists and all that. And just like, yeah, somebody's got to play down low here. I mean, they got Wemby and Sohan and all those bigs. So, yeah, I trust you. I'm not watching Wizards games personally, so pass that one off. But the Blazers, again, playing good ball. And like you said, Denny Avdia's lost a little time. That means Jeremy Grant has been a little bit more reliable. I'll take 17.5 points and rebounds. It's low because the dude, like we say, is allergic to the paint sometimes, does not rebound sometimes. But when he plays the team that he feels spurned him, the Denver Nuggets, he has brought it on both ends. 7 since the trade, over in all 7 against the Nuggets, 20.5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 24% usage. And lately in February, I mean, he actually has been getting paint touches. He's actually averaging the most points per touch on the Blazers in these 5-game span here. They don't take threes much, do the Blazers. They have a bunch of penetrating guards who get in there and then get the ball to Grant in exploitable positions. And we know the Nuggets are not very good protecting the rim. They're not going to have Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook in this one. Gordon and MPJ are both on the injury report. So I don't know how good they're going to be individually on Grant, or if Gordon really prioritizes as a guy to like lock up Jeremy Grant. I mean, the Blazers have so many interchangeable forwards right now. So, I mean, Grant could be playing shooting guard at times and just trying to exploit that matchup that he gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, getting over this in February, 16 points, 19% usage, despite shooting poorly, but he's been aggressive with his drives, getting to the free throw line. And that's a recipe for success against Denver, which again is just going to let you sometimes get to the rim and then just go get buckets on the other end. So let's keep targeting that Denver defense.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I side with Denver entirely on that. I don't know how you got spurned. Like you got money in Detroit, Jeremy, where you did nothing. You come to Portland where you've done nothing, at least winning wise. If you just want the money, then just take the money, but you're not going to get it in Denver where they're trying to win chips. So anyway, I side with Denver on that one. Shout out my guy in the GM office there. But let's move on. I like Jeremy Grant in this game too. I hate that Denny Avdia has been pushed out, and I'm going full conspiracy tinfoil hat that it's because he's too good for their team. But either way, it's opened up stuff for Jeremy Grant. So let me go to crazy eyes. Bobby Portis, 27.5 points and rebounds, going over that. I don't know how high you would have to make this before I took an over for Bobby Portis playing without Giannis, who is officially out until after the All-Star break. And that means Trae Young will be on the All-Star team now for Giannis. That was his. So yeah, I guess congrats to Trae. But Bobby Poe, man, what a stud. So 32 points and rebounds without Giannis this season, pretty much the same as last season. He's gone over in 6 of 8 games that he's played without Giannis this season when he's played at least 30 plus minutes. There was a dud in there where he played 18. I think they lost by like 27 points. But he's up to about 19 rebound chances per game without Giannis and 18 field goal attempts without him. Like he really just does jump into the Giannis spot just a little bit differently. It's not him driving to the bucket with a head full of steam, but it is him playing a lot more in the dunker spot than a guy like Brolo, right? And that's why his boards just fly through the roof. I would be taking 10.5 boards for him as well. I think that might even drop down. It started to seem like it might move towards 9.5. So I'm kind of waiting on that for Bobby Portis today because I think we might be able to get him at 9.5 boards. And then I'm going to ladder that to like 12 or 13, to be honest, because he's up at about 12 boards per game without Giannis. And like I said, the 18 and 19 actually rebound chances. And this is the Dubs, man. They can't rebound. Like, but Jimmy Butler's going to make them a little bit better at rebounding, but not much. This is still a bottom 10 rebounding team. And Bobby, like I said, is a guy who's just going to continue to get boards when he's playing without them. His matchup, I imagine, will be Draymond, but maybe Draymond's going out to the 3-point line. And now we're talking about Jimmy Butler as his matchup. I don't know what they're going to keep doing with the starting lineup. We got Quentin Post out there. He'll probably be on Brolo. I'm sure it's a household name for you all. Quentin Post, who just got signed to the Warriors and is now their actual starting center. Great shooter, good player, not the best rebounder. He's going to get owned by either Brolo or Bobby Portis, however they split that matchup up. But I love this matchup for him. I mean, he's a spot-up shooter who's going to get threes. He's also going to get his stuff down in the block, where the Dubs allow the most points in the paint on the season, actually with a bullet, too. Like, they're far and away the worst paint defense in the league overall, which is weird because they're not as bad right next to the rim, but they're dead last outside of the right next to the rim. Either way, Bobby Poe is going to get what he wants down low or the spot-up shot for some threes. I'm probably going to take him for like a 20-10 little parlay. I'm going to figure out ways to make some money off Portis in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you only have to add 2 assists to do the whole PRA here, though, right? I mean, he has, 5.65 in this, like, post-Giannis world. I mean, looking at his back-to-back splits for you, because they did play Sunday afternoon,
right,
and a little bit of a dip in terms of efficiency and output, but that's when he comes off the bench. Like the one he started on a back-to-back, granted against the Wizards, 34, 10, and 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can just carry this Bucks front court right now.
Yeah.
Brolo ain't it at this point. I mean, he ain't doing much on a back-to-back. So yeah,
right.
I agree. I was looking at Bobby Poe as well.
Yeah, and don't forget he missed like 4 games, maybe 5 games in a row to sort of grieve the loss of his grandmother. So he's pretty fresh. Like he hasn't been playing very much. So yeah, another added benefit for Bobby Poe. Shout out my guy. But that's all the time we have for you in this one. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that page. Check out the best bets with some sides and totals looks for you guys as well. And until we see you next, happy betting.